Ladies and gentlemen, imagine having the power to manifest anything you desire, wealth, success, love, or the life you've always dreamed of. What if I told you that this power isn't reserved for a lucky few, but is available to anyone willing to master one simple yet transformative strategy? Today, I'm going to reveal the strategy that has been used by some of the most successful people in the world to turn their dreams into reality. This isn't about wishful thinking or waiting for luck to strike. It's about understanding how to align your mind, emotions, and actions with the outcomes you want. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to start manifesting the life you truly desire. But first, let's break down why most people fail at this and how you can avoid those pitfalls to unlock your full potential. Ready to take control of your destiny? Let's dive in. Right now, your life is being shaped by one critical factor: the thoughts you focus on and the actions you take. Every outcome, every achievement, every setback, it all hinges on how you operate in the present moment. The reality is, most people live reactively. They wait, hesitate, and allow fear, doubt, and self-imposed limits to control their destiny. But today that changes. I'm going to show you how to take charge, master your emotions, build unshakable confidence, and perform at a level most only dream of. Many believe success is about luck, talent, or having the right resources. But the truth is, it's about conditioning, rewiring your mind, body, and habits to function at a higher level. The foundation of it all, your emotions dictate your success. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Most people think success, wealth, love, or happiness come from external sources. They believe if I had more money, I'd feel successful, or if I found the right partner, I'd feel loved. But this mindset is backward. You don't receive these things first and then become deserving of them. You must become the person who aligns with them, and then they naturally come into your life. Everything in your life right now reflects your internal identity. If you feel financially stuck, it's not just about your bank account. It's about your mindset, actions, and beliefs around money. If you feel trapped, it's not the circumstances, but how you perceive yourself within them. The world mirrors what you believe about yourself. Change your identity, and your external reality will shift accordingly. Consider this. Someone who wins the lottery but still sees themselves as poor will eventually lose that money. Why? Because their identity never aligned with their new financial status. On the flip side, a millionaire who loses everything will rebuild their wealth. Why? Because their identity is rooted in abundance. They don't just have money, they embody wealth. Their thoughts, decisions, and habits reflect that. If you want more success, you must become the type of person who naturally attracts it. Think like a successful person, make decisions like one, and carry yourself with the confidence and energy of someone who achieves. You can't hold a scarcity mindset and expect abundance. You can't harbor self-doubt and expect opportunities. You can't live in fear and expect breakthroughs. This is why so many struggle with manifestation. They think it's about wanting something intensely, but that's not enough. You can desire something deeply, but if you don't truly believe you're the kind of person who deserves it, you'll self-sabotage every time. You'll make excuses, procrastinate, or settle for less. Not because you don't want it, but because your subconscious will pull you back to what feels familiar. Identity is the key. How you see yourself consciously or unconsciously sets the boundaries for what you allow in your life. Someone who feels unworthy of love will keep attracting toxic relationships. Someone who sees themselves as a victim will keep encountering situations that reinforce that belief. Someone who believes they're incapable will never take the steps to prove otherwise. Your results in life aren't determined by your desires alone, but by your identity. That's why two people can start with the same goal, resources, and opportunities, yet one thrives while the other fails. The difference lies in who they believe they are. One thinks, I always figure things out, while the other believes nothing ever works out for me. Guess who wins? If you want to transform your life, start with your identity. Who are you? Who do you believe yourself to be? And most importantly, does that version of you align with the life you want? If not, the work isn't about chasing external success, it's about upgrading you. Because once you change who you are at your core, everything else will begin to fall into place. Effortlessly align your mindset with your future self. Your current mindset is a direct reflection of your current results. If you're not where you want to be in life, it's not due to bad luck, lack of opportunity, or external forces beyond your control. It's because the way you think, act, and perceive the world is still rooted in your past, not your future. The future version of you, the one who has everything you desire, thinks differently. They don't carry the same fears, doubts, or limitations you hold on to now. They make different choices, take different actions, and radiate a different energy. If you want to step into that reality, you need to start thinking like that person today. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for proof before they believe. They say, once I make more money, then I'll believe I'm successful. Or once I get fit, then I'll feel confident. But that's not how the mind works. You don't wait for evidence, you create it. Your brain is constantly searching for proof to confirm your beliefs. If you keep operating from your old mindset, you'll only see and experience things that reinforce your current situation. To upgrade your mindset, you need to reprogram the way you think on a deep level. First, identify the limiting beliefs holding you back. What thoughts run through your mind daily? Are they empowering or filled with doubt? Do they push you forward or keep you stuck? If you constantly think, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, or I don't have enough time, your subconscious will ensure those beliefs remain true. Replace those thoughts with new, powerful beliefs that align with your future self. Start speaking to yourself as if you're already successful. When doubt creeps in, override it with certainty. If your old belief says, I'm not good at making money, replace it with, I am a wealth magnet. Money flows to me effortlessly. If your old belief says, I always fail, replace it with, I always find a way to succeed. Your words matter. Your thoughts matter. Your focus matters. Every time you repeat a new belief, you strengthen new neural pathways in your brain. Over time, this becomes your default mode of thinking, and once that happens, the external world must shift to match it. Another key to upgrading your mindset is changing your environment. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, and the conversations you engage in all shape your beliefs. If you want to think bigger, be around people who challenge you to grow. If you want to believe in success, learn from those who have achieved it. If you want to feel limitless, remove anything from your life that reinforces scarcity and fear. You must also embody the emotions of your future self. If the person you want to become is confident, feel that confidence now. If they are abundant, feel abundant now. If they are powerful, walk into every room with that energy. Your mind doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality, so when you train it to feel and think like your future self, it starts finding ways to turn that vision into reality. This isn't about faking it. It's about aligning yourself with the energy, habits, and mindset of the person who already has what you desire, because once you fully step into that version of yourself, the results you've been chasing will start chasing you. Eliminate the I'm not enough belief. Rewire your thoughts. The belief that you're not enough is the single greatest obstacle standing between you and the life you want. It's the root of hesitation, fear, self-sabotage, and the feeling of being stuck. Most people don't even realize they're carrying this belief. They blame external circumstances, past failures, or lack of resources. But deep down, the real issue is the story they've been telling themselves, consciously or unconsciously, that says they are not worthy, not capable, not deserving. You have to understand that your brain is designed to protect you, not to help you thrive. It clings to limiting beliefs because it thinks they keep you safe. If you believe you're not good enough, you won't take big risks. If you believe you'll fail, you won't put yourself out there. If you believe success is only for others, you won't try. Your brain creates these limitations because it fears the unknown, but the truth is your beliefs are not facts. They're just patterns of thought you've accepted as reality. The first step to eliminating the I'm not enough belief is recognizing when it shows up. Pay attention to the moments when you hesitate, second guess yourself, or talk yourself out of something. What is the voice in your head saying? Are you telling yourself you're not talented enough, not experienced enough, not ready yet? That voice is a lie. It's an old program that needs to be rewritten. Rewiring your thoughts means replacing old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. It means rejecting the default narrative and consciously choosing a new story. Every time your mind tries to convince you that you're not enough, interrupt that pattern. Replace it with a statement of strength. Instead of saying, I'm not smart enough, say, I am resourceful and always find a way. Instead of, I don't deserve success, say, I am worthy of everything I desire. At first, your mind will resist this shift. It will try to revert to the old belief because it feels familiar. But the more you repeat the new thought, the stronger it becomes. Your brain is constantly forming neural connections, and the thoughts you focus on most become the strongest pathways. If you spent years reinforcing the belief that you're not enough, it won't disappear overnight. But with daily repetition and emotional intensity, you can literally reprogram your mind. Visualization is another powerful tool for shifting your self-perception. When you imagine yourself as already being enough, already powerful, already the version of yourself who has everything you want, your mind begins to accept it as reality. Close your eyes and picture yourself walking into a room with total confidence. See yourself achieving your biggest goals effortlessly. Feel the emotions of success, certainty, and worthiness. The more vividly you experience this in your mind, the faster your subconscious accepts it as your new identity. Your actions must also align with your new beliefs. If you want to believe you're enough, you have to prove it to yourself through action. Take the first step, even when you're scared. Show up, even when you don't feel ready. Speak up, even when your voice shakes. Confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build through repetition. The more you step into your power, the more natural it becomes. The world reflects back to you what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're not enough, you'll attract situations that confirm that belief. But if you shift your mindset, if you decide right now that you are more than enough, the universe will align to match that energy. The people, opportunities, and success you once thought were out of reach will start flowing toward you. Not because they suddenly appeared, but because you finally removed the walls that were blocking them. Surround yourself with people who embody success. Your environment shapes your future more than you realize. The people you spend time with influence your beliefs, habits, energy, and mindset. If you're around people who think small, make excuses, and settle for mediocrity, you'll subconsciously adopt the same patterns. But if you surround yourself with people who embody success, those who challenge themselves, think big, and push beyond limitations, you'll naturally elevate your own standards. Humans are wired for adaptation. We mirror the behaviors of those around us. This is why an ambitious person placed in a room full of negativity will over time see their drive fade. On the other hand, someone who doubts themselves but is placed among high achievers will start to grow in confidence. The energy you expose yourself to becomes the energy you operate from. Most people don't realize how much their environment shapes them. They assume their struggles stem from a lack of motivation or discipline, when in reality, it's often the result of being surrounded by people who reinforce the wrong beliefs. If you constantly hear, "It's too hard," "Be realistic," or "People like us don't get those opportunities," those thoughts become part of your subconscious program. You don't even question them, you accept them as truth, and your actions reflect those limitations. The fastest way to accelerate your growth is to put yourself in an environment that forces you to level up. If you want to think bigger, be around people who set ambitious goals. If you want to develop discipline, spend time with people who take massive action. If you want to build wealth, learn from those who have already done it. The more you expose yourself to a higher standard, the more that standard becomes your new normal. Your circle determines your ceiling. If you're always the smartest, most driven person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Growth happens when you're surrounded by people who challenge you, who push you beyond what you thought was possible. These people won't let you settle. They won't accept your excuses. They will call you out when you start playing small. This doesn't mean you need to cut everyone out of your life, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who you give your energy to. Some relationships drain you while others fuel you. Some conversations leave you feeling inspired while others fill you with doubt. Pay attention to the people who elevate you and spend more time in their presence. If you don't have those people in your immediate circle, seek them out. Read books written by high achievers. Listen to podcasts that expand your thinking. Join groups and communities where people are pushing themselves to new levels. Success leaves clues. When you immerse yourself in the mindset, habits, and energy of successful people, you start to adopt the same patterns. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You start making decisions from a place of confidence instead of fear. Your self-worth transforms because you're constantly surrounded by proof of what's possible. Most importantly, the right environment doesn't just inspire you, it holds you accountable. When you're surrounded by people who expect greatness, you rise to that expectation. You stop making excuses because excuses don't exist in that world. You stop procrastinating because everyone around you is taking action. You stop questioning your worth because the people in your life see your potential and refuse to let you settle for less. Your success is a direct reflection of your environment. If you want to change your life, change the people you spend your time with. Surround yourself with those who remind you of your potential, who push you forward, and who embody the success you aspire to create. Break old patterns. Your habits must align with your vision. Your habits shape your future. No matter how big your dreams are, if your daily actions don't align with them, you'll never reach them. Most people focus on what they want, but they don't realize that what they do every single day is what truly determines their results. You can visualize success, affirm your goals, and set big intentions, but if your habits contradict those desires, nothing will change. Your brain is designed to follow patterns. The actions you repeat become automatic, turning into habits that dictate your outcomes. If you have habits that reinforce procrastination, doubt, and inconsistency, those habits will keep you stuck. But if you develop habits that reinforce discipline, confidence, and momentum, success becomes inevitable. The key is recognizing the patterns that no longer serve you and replacing them with ones that align with the life you want to create. The first step in breaking old patterns is awareness. Pay attention to the small, automatic decisions you make throughout the day. What do you do when you feel stressed? Do you escape into distractions, or do you take productive action? How do you spend your mornings? Do you start with focus and intention, or do you immediately reach for your phone and lose yourself in distractions? These small moments define your results more than you think. Most people assume that big transformations require drastic changes, but real success comes from small, consistent shifts in behavior. If you want to be healthier, you don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. You need to start making daily choices that move you in that direction. If you want financial freedom, you don't need to suddenly make millions. You need to start developing habits of wealth building, such as saving, investing, and learning about money. Success is not about one big action. It's about the small, consistent actions that compound over time. Breaking old patterns also requires stepping out of your comfort zone. Your brain resists change because it craves familiarity, even if that familiarity is holding you back. If you've always avoided discomfort, your mind will try to keep you in that pattern. But growth only happens when you push beyond what feels safe. If you want to develop new habits, you must be willing to endure the initial discomfort of change. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to break old patterns. If your surroundings make it easy to fall into old habits, change them. If you're trying to focus, but your phone constantly pulls you into distractions, put it in another room. If you're trying to eat healthier, but your kitchen is full of junk food, remove the temptation. If you're trying to be more productive, but your workspace is cluttered, create an environment that supports focus. The fewer obstacles you have, the easier it becomes to reinforce new habits. Accountability is another key to breaking old patterns. When you try to change habits in isolation, it's easy to fall back into old behaviors. But when you have someone holding you to a higher standard, you're far more likely to follow through. Find a mentor, a coach, or a group of people who will challenge you to stay consistent. Share your goals with someone who won't let you make excuses. Your daily habits are the foundation of your future. Every decision you make either reinforces an old identity or shapes a new one. If your actions aren't aligned with your vision, you must change them. Success isn't about hoping for better results. It's about making the necessary adjustments in your habits, routines, and mindset to ensure those results become inevitable. Master your emotions. Your state determines your success. Your emotions are the driving force behind every action you take. The state you operate from dictates your decisions, your energy, and ultimately your results. If you constantly allow fear, doubt, or frustration to control you, you'll make choices that reflect those emotions. But if you learn to master your emotional state, if you can shift into confidence, certainty, and power at will, you'll take the kind of action that leads to massive success. Most people think their emotions are outside their control, that they're at the mercy of circumstances. But the truth is, you can change your emotional state in an instant. It starts with understanding that emotions are nothing more than patterns. You feel fear because you have conditioned yourself to respond to uncertainty with hesitation. You feel overwhelmed because you've reinforced the habit of focusing on what's wrong instead of what's possible. The moment you decide to take control of your emotions, everything changes. One of the fastest ways to shift your emotional state is through physiology. The way you move, breathe, and carry yourself sends powerful signals to your brain. If you're feeling uncertain, your posture is probably weak, your breathing shallow, and your energy low. But if you stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with power, your brain immediately starts associating those movements with confidence. Emotion is created through motion. If you want to feel unstoppable, start moving like someone who is unstoppable. Language is another powerful tool for emotional mastery. The words you use shape your reality. If you constantly say, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed, or I'm stuck, you reinforce those emotions. But if you start saying, I'm energized, I'm in control, or I always find a way, your brain begins to believe it. Your emotions aren't random, they're patterns you've reinforced. The more you consciously choose empowering emotions, the more automatic they become. Surrounding yourself with the right energy is also crucial. If you're around people who complain, live in negativity, or focus on problems, their energy will pull you down. But if you spend time with people who think big, operate from certainty, and radiate power, their energy will lift you up. You absorb the emotional state of those around you, so choose wisely. The key is to condition yourself daily. Mastering your emotions isn't something you do once. It's a habit you build. Start each day by putting yourself in a peak state. Move with intensity. Focus on what you're grateful for and speak with certainty. Train yourself to shift emotions on command, because when you control your state, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your destiny. Develop unshakable certainty. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Certainty is the foundation of all success. When you believe with absolute certainty that something is possible, you take the kind of action that makes it inevitable. But when you hesitate, when you let doubt creep in, you weaken your ability to execute. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will, because doubt stops you before you even begin. It keeps you in your head overanalyzing, questioning, and waiting for the right moment. But success doesn't come from hesitation. It comes from decisive action backed by total belief. Most people wait for external validation before they feel certain. They wait until they have more experience, more knowledge, or more proof that they can succeed. But certainty doesn't come from external factors. It comes from within. It's a decision. You don't need proof to believe in yourself. You need belief to create proof. When you operate with unshakable certainty, you see obstacles as temporary setbacks, challenges as opportunities to grow. You don't get stuck in fear because you trust that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. The fastest way to build certainty is through daily conditioning. Reinforce the belief that you're unstoppable, that you always find a way, that success is inevitable. Your brain believes whatever you tell it repeatedly. If you constantly tell yourself you're not ready, not good enough, or not capable, you'll hesitate. But if you tell yourself you're confident, capable, and unstoppable, your brain will believe that too. Another way to develop certainty is to study those who have already achieved what you want. Success leaves clues. When you immerse yourself in the stories, strategies, and mindsets of people who've created massive results, you begin to see patterns. You realize they weren't special or lucky. They just refused to let doubt control them. They acted with certainty long before they had proof, and their belief made their success inevitable. Most people wait for the perfect moment, but success doesn't come from waiting. It comes from action. The most successful people don't hesitate. They move fast, adjust along the way, and figure things out as they go. Overthinking and fear paralyze most people, keeping them stuck in a cycle of inaction. But clarity and confidence don't come before action, they come because of it. The longer you wait, the more fear takes hold. Success isn't about having the best plan, it's about executing, failing fast, and learning faster than everyone else. Massive action means eliminating excuses, pushing forward despite challenges, and committing fully to your goals. It's about showing up every day, refusing to quit, and adapting as needed. Surround yourself with action takers because hesitation is contagious. Execution is a habit, and once you develop it, success becomes inevitable. Condition your mind daily. Success is a mindset game. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Everything you achieve starts there. Success isn't about luck or talent. It's about mastering your mindset. If you don't take control of your thoughts, the world will do it for you. Most people let fear, negativity, and limiting beliefs shape their reality, keeping them stuck. But the most successful people condition their minds daily, programming themselves for success. Your brain needs training just like your body. What you feed it determines how you perform. Start each day with intention. Fuel your mind with empowering thoughts. Affirm your goals and visualize success. Your self-talk shapes your identity, and your identity dictates your actions. If you tell yourself you're unstoppable, your mind will align with that belief. Cut out negativity, protect your energy, and surround yourself with influences that push you forward. Success is a mindset game. Win it every day. Success isn't an accident, it's a choice. It happens when you condition your mind. Take massive action and surround yourself with certainty. The question is, will you apply this breakthrough and manifest your dreams? Or will you stay stuck in the same patterns? The future is in your hands. Make it count. If this resonated with you, don't let this moment slip away. Take one step today, whether it's rewiring a limiting belief, taking massive action, or surrounding yourself with people who push you to grow. Success is a choice, and it starts right now. Subscribe to this channel for more insights that will help you level up your mindset and your life. Hit the like button if this inspired you, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's build a community of action takers and dream chasers. Your future is waiting. Go out there and make it happen. Let's go.